A number one overall pick in the NBA draft can make or break your team for years to come. Some years the choice is easy, others not so much. But if you're lucky enough to get the right guy, the future will be brighter than the rock's teeth. I'm Patrick Davis, and here are the top 10 number one overall NBA draft picks. First, a few honorable mentions. There are some great players who didn't crack the top 10. Allen Iverson, James Worthy, Bill Walton, Patrick Ewing all deserve mentions as amazing number one overall picks, but they didn't make our top 10. Now on to our top 10. Number 10, Elvin Hayes. Selected number one overall in 1968 by the San Diego Rockets, Elvin spent the next 4 years of his 16-year career as a Rocket, immediately making an impact as he led the league in scoring his rookie season and in rebounds his sophomore year. Hayes finished his career as a 12-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA first-teamer, and a 1978 NBA champion with the Washington Bullets. He was able to retire a Rocket and still sits 4th all-time in rebounds and 5th all-time in minutes. He was inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame in 1990. Number 9, David Robinson. Selected number one overall in 1987 by the San Antonio Spurs, the Admiral was a 10-time All-Star, a 4-time All-NBA first-teamer, the NBA MVP in 1995, and he led the league in scoring, blocks, and rebounds in different years. Robinson was held by another number one overall pick, we'll talk about you later, Timmy, to help bring San Antonio their first 2 NBA championships. He's one of only 4 players in NBA history to complete a quadruple-double. He scored 71 points in a game and played his entire career as a Spur. He was inducted into the Naismith Hall of Fame in 2009. Number 8, Oscar Robertson. Selected number one overall in 1960 by the Cincinnati Royals, the Big O was a walking triple-double. He's the only player to average a triple-double in a whole season, and he still holds the lead for the most in a career with a staggering 181. To put that in perspective, Russell Westbrook had 18 this year, and that's the most anyone's had in a season in 33 years. Robertson spent 10 years in Cincinnati, winning the 1964 MVP in the process before being traded to the Bucks and going on to win a title in 1971. He was inducted in the Naismith Hall of Fame in 1980. Number 7, Akeem Olajuwon. Selected number one overall in 1984 by the Houston Rockets, the Dream had an illustrious career, including 12 All-Star appearances, 6 times on the All-NBA first team, MVP honors in 1994, and 2 NBA championships. Thanks, Mike. He led the league in rebounding twice and blocks 3 times. He also posted 2 quadruple doubles. It's like an octuple, quadruple, squared, or something like that. Plus, he's an all-time leader in blocks. Sorry, Mutombo. Olajuwon was inducted in the Naismith Hall of Fame in 2008. Number 6, Elgin Baylor. Selected number one overall in 1958 by the Minneapolis Lakers, then Lakers owner Bob Short has stated that if Baylor didn't come to the Lakers, they would have gone bankrupt. Just think of that, an NBA with no Lakers. Where was I? Baylor was an 11-time All-Star and a 10-time All-NBA first-teamer and might have had more, but spent a couple of seasons only playing weekend games while he was serving in the Army because he was in the Army Reserve. Really, that happened. He had 71 points and 25 rebounds in one game. In a finals game, he scored 61 points, an NBA Finals record, and added 22 rebounds. He played in 9 NBA Finals, finally winning one in 1972. Baylor was inducted in the Naismith Hall of Fame in 1977. Number 5, Shaquille O'Neal. Selected number one overall in 1992 by the Orlando Magic, Diesel, Superman, Kazam, Mayor McShack. Wait. Seriously, if you Google Shaq's nicknames, you'll have to scroll to see them all. Whatever you want to call him, he was one of the most imposing forces in the NBA over his 19-year career. He was a 15-time All-Star, 8-time All-NBA first-teamer, a 2-time scoring champ, MVP in the year 2000, 3-time Finals MVP, and a 4-time NBA champion. But he falls on the list because of his bitter breakup with the team who drafted him, the Orlando Magic, after the 1996 season. He'll be inducted in the Naismith Hall of Fame in 2016. Number 4, LeBron James. Selected number one overall in 2003 by the Cleveland Cavaliers, LeBron was a sure thing coming out of high school. At 31, he's already a 12-time NBA All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first-teamer, 5-time All-Defense first-teamer, a 4-time MVP, and has 7 finals appearances, including the last 6. But perhaps what he's best known for is The Decision, a TV show where he took his talents to South Beach. He won 2 titles with the Heat before coming back to Cleveland and finally winning a championship this year in Cleveland. I think it's fair to say he might be moving up the list before his career is over. Number 3, Tim Duncan. Selected number 1 overall in 1997 by the San Antonio Spurs. After an injury-plagued 95-96 season by the Spurs, it was injury-plagued. Seriously, there's no tanking. They didn't tank. They tried their best. It was injury-plagued, I promise. Duncan became a Spur, and it's possible no other player has meant as much to his team as Duncan. He's a 15-time All-Star, 10-time All-NBA first-teamer, 8-time defensive first-teamer. He's a 3-time Finals MVP, a 5-time champion, and a 2-time NBA MVP. If that's not impressive enough, his unselfishness has allowed the Spurs to thrive into a team that has not missed the playoffs during his 19-year career. The only other team to make the playoffs 19 straight years is the Boston Celtics in 1969, 15 years before there was a salary cap. The longevity and ability to adjust of Duncan are second to none, and when he decides to hang it up, he is a surefire first-ballot Hall of Famer. Number 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Selected number 1 overall in 1969 by the Milwaukee Bucks. In his second season, Lou Alcindor won an NBA championship and the next day changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was one of the most unstoppable players in the NBA for nearly 2 decades. Jabbar was a beast, racking up 19 All-Star appearances, 10 All-NBA first-team honors, 5 first-team All-Defense honors, 6 MVP awards, 6 NBA championships, 2 scoring championships, 4 blocking championships, a rebounding championship. He's the all-time leader in points, minutes, 3rd in rebounds, 2nd in blocks. Plus, he was an airplane. Roger. Number 1, Irvin Magic Johnson. Selected number 1 overall in 1979 by the Los Angeles Lakers, Magic and the Lakers go hand in hand. You can't think about one without thinking of the other. Leading the Showtime Lakers, Magic didn't only rack up titles for LA, he also brought a whole lot of attention to the NBA, helping the league through some struggling years. Although his career was cut short, he was still a 12-time All-Star, 9-time All-NBA first-teamer, 3-time MVP, 3-time Finals MVP, a 5-time champion, a 4-time assist leader, and a 2-time steal leader. No number 1 pick has meant more to their team, their city, and their league than Magic did. So that's our list of the best number 1 overall picks in NBA draft history. Did we miss any? Got the order wrong? Tell us in the comments below and yell at me on Twitter at It's Patrick Davis. Make sure to like and subscribe and stay tuned to Sports Talk AM 1300, The Zone.